you know, some DLC credits, controls. Pretty sure this would all be filled up if, like, you know, if I played this game prior. Premium content. Oh, that's a good question. Do I have all the... I do. Yeah, so for both owning the game, owning a EA account, some DLC, like basically by doing some DLCs and getting achievements in them, you'll unlock items. So, you know, I already got a bunch of funky stuff here. So, for instance, like this is from Liliana's song, pretty sure. Got some good weapons. Yada yada yada. Some of them are not from DLC quests. Some of them are just because you go on. If you go onto your EA Dragon Age account, there's actually a thing that says unlock all the DLC because we can no longer give them out for whatever reason. So you could just unlock them. So you could do that. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to use any of these items right away until I get my bearings. 'Cause as I said, I'm kind of in the spot where I don't remember shit. Like, do I even... I don't know if there's a way to check out, like, oh, this is all the stuff you unlocked. I know there's, like, player profile and stuff. Whatever. Let's go find Fergus, shall we? So, my opinion for every single RPG that ever exists that requires, like, lockpicking is you should always play a rogue, because rogues, for some reason, in every single game have a unique skill that requires picking locks, because, you know, that's the thing with rogues, they pick locks, right? So every single, you know, rogue in every single game has that ability, obviously, and they're always the best at it. However, in, let's say, RPGs, the starting area, if you have the option between, let's say, a warrior or a rogue, will have exclusive stuff that the rogue can only access. For instance, this chest. I can't open this chest. I can never open this chest as a warrior. You can only do so as a rogue. Now, it wouldn't be a problem
Good
if the
evening, my lord.
starting area didn't have, like, oh, just wait until you get a companion. You'd never, because this is technically the tutorial slash intro of the game. You never come back here, so, like, quite literally, once you leave this place, you know, you're stuck into all the loot that could be here. It's no longer accessible by you. So yeah, that's why I say every time you play a fantasy game that gives you the option to play a rogue, play the rogue first, always. Just always do it. And then when you're done, you know, when you're done your first playthrough, then play, like, you'll know where all the, like, you'll know where all the, what's it called? All the locked chests are and what are in them and what's worth it. Oh, okay, so I'll wait until I get this character and then I'll bring them here so they can pick that lock kind of thing.
Maker, prepare a place for us. Redeem our world from sin. Forgive our transgressions.
Maker, forgive us all.
Have you come to pray for your brother and father? I'd be happy to ask for the Maker's blessings with you.
I would appreciate that, Mother Malal.
Please, child, call me Malol. I've known you since you were a wee babe after all. Creator of the sky, the land, and the sea. Hear your people in our time of need.
Make her watch over us.
Let no man have cause to fear the shadows. Let their souls be lifted upon your return. So let it be.
Make her forgive us all.
There now. I'll be keeping a vigil tonight. You're welcome to come. There are many more who must receive the Maker's blessings before they leave. If you would excuse me.
Thank you, Malal.
It is the least I could do. If the worst comes to pass, child, take comfort in knowing that the Maker's will takes many forms. We shall talk once the soldiers have departed.
Can I
I'm
ask? No.
sorry, child.
There was an option that's like, hey, can I ask some questions? And I only saw it after I said the thank you thing. Now I'm kind of like, shit. I
Good
missed out.
evening, milady.
This should be easy enough.
This should be easy enough.
As you wish.
Literally fails. My favorite one is if you're playing the violent female, maybe even the violent male, but like the violent female. She's like
Oh, my lady, we were just,
taking a break.
well, the treasury's safe. I'm not even sure why the Terran stationed us here.
Don't worry about men now. I won't say anything.
We appreciate that, my lady. Thank you.
I mean, so long as you're here, right? Like, I assume this is the treasury. Like, if you literally could see someone come in, I don't see the problem with people playing cards while they're waiting for something to happen. If I remember correctly, there's like a button you can press to see loot. I don't know what it is, though. Been trying to hold down tab because in most games, usually holding up the tab
There you are.
shows you
Your
stuff
mother
you can
told me
interact
the
with.
Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Hello to you too, Sir Gilmore.
Pardon my abruptness, my lady. It's simply that I've been looking everywhere for you. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave.
She was a nanny before she was a cook. She was my nanny before she was a cook. Nan won't leave.
Your mother disagrees. She insists you collect the dog, and quickly. You know these Mabari hounds. He'll listen to his mistress, but anyone else risks having an arm bitten off.
He knows better than to hurt anyone.
I'm not willing to test that. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we?
I need to find my brother first.
Your mother was quite specific. Unless the castle is under attack, you get that dog before doing anything else. Her words, not mine. Before we go, my lady, might I beg a question? I've heard from several people that a Grey Warden is here. Is that true?
His name is Duncan. I met him.
Then, is it also true that this Grey Warden was asking after me?
Yeah. He intends to test you for recruitment.
Maker's breath. Are you certain? Can you imagine me, a Grey Warden? It would be everything I've dreamed of. Of course, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. Pardon my outburst.
Good evening, milady.
This should be easy enough.
I mean, it's just an empty door. Let's go get the dog first. Oh man, it's been so long since I played this game. I've only played through this game twice on my PC. I played as a mage and I played as a
Get that
noble.
bloody mutt out of the larder.
But mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves. I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you. Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down.
He's not a mongrel, he's a pure-blooded Mabari.
A blight wolf is what he is. How am I supposed to work like this?
Oh dear. Mistress, calm down, please.
That's it. I'll quit. Inform the turner. I'll go and cook at some nice estate in the Banorn.
Nan, please. We'll get the dog. Calm down.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
I just realized. He has... I can't poach his armor? Damn it. I thought you could.
Let's get started.
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here?
Are you trying to tell me something, boy?
He does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait, did you hear that?
Let's call him Jake, after my dog. Giant rats.
Right. Only one shall stand. On it.
I don't know if Sword and Shield characters
Time for
have.
some fun.
Giant rats? It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all.
Hmm. Those were very large rats.
I've seen larger. They come up from the Kakari wilds sometimes. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Isle's men.
Couldn't poach any of his gear. Shame. We're in the larder, you bastard. Can you do something about this gory mess? You could ask your dog to clean you up. There's actually a mod that lets you have your dog throughout the entire game
Let's get started.
as its like own thing. Because like in Dragon Age 2, there was an ability that basically lets you do the same thing, which would be nice. But I don't think I'll download that.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
Actually, he was defending your larder from rats, big ones.
What? Rats? Not the large gray ones.
They'll rip you to shreds, they will!
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead.
My faithful warhound made sure it's
I
safe.
bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then, take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lady. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about.
So I believe you keep the dog. Yeah, you always get the dog in any playthrough, but I believe in the human playthrough you actually get it first. Then I think you find
Good
him
evening, milady.
again later on.
As you wish.
Something like that. Is there anything in here? It's so hard because like I'm so used to like newer games, like you just press a button and it lets you know if there's anything important in there. And it's been so long since I played this game with the human, like a human playthrough, so I literally don't know what's available to us. Culture of Ferelden. Because I know there's books, so you can read them, you get experience and stuff, so you kind of want to, you actually do want to read your codex. Well, not read the codex, but like unlock the codex entries. And I won't read them. As much as I like reading things in video games, codex entries in these games are kind of like very long. And it's literal like lore. Like I'm a guy who reads lore. Like I usually read prequel books if they're available, but these are like novelizations of the entire world, which like some stuff you don't even need to know about.
Hello, my dear girl. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect.
They could do with some discipline.
Perhaps you could help me with that. Might you join me in teaching this lesson?
I'm quite familiar with the subject matter.
Perhaps you could make the topic more palatable for these lads and their minuscule intellects.
Very well.
Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start?
When was our line founded?
Records are vague, but the Couslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child?
Yeah, I remember something about an age in there.
Every day I pray to the Maker that my lessons will stick, and every day he tasks me anew. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Cousland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern.
We predate the founding of the kingdom, yes.
Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young lady.
I'm doing the best I can.
It seems you've already plumbed the depths of your potential, then. A pity. At any rate, your family has held the tournure of High Ever since before King Callan had united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elethea Cousland battled Calenhad to maintain High Ever's independence.
And Callahan let us keep the tournure.
Calenhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elethea's men were defeated, Calenhad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event.
We opposed the king?
Well, the Couslands are ardent royalists now, but at that time, Calenhad was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Calenhad's army reached High Ever, Tierna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Calenhad won.
Tell me about our relationship with Earl Howe.
The history between the Couslands and the Howes reaches back to the Orlesian occupation.
When did Orlais occupy High Ever?
During your grandfather's rule. Of course, Orlais found it difficult to hold these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near High Ever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the tourneur's center. Its Jarl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over.
But my father and Earl Howe are old friends.
The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Loghain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Callan, to fight the Darkspawn.
Yeah, that's the part where...
Thank you for indulging an old man.
Oh, does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good.
Yes, if I remember correctly, in the books, I don't think the Couslands or the Howes were really mentioned in the books, but you do, in fact, hear about Merrick and Loghain. Loghain was literally just like a rogue or something.
This back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my lovely daughter. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled?
Yes, there were giant rats in the larder.
Ah, marvelous. Just the thing for my guests to hear right before dinner. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Ban Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon.
Of course. It's good to see you again, my lady.
You're too kind, dear girl. Didn't I spend half the salon trying to convince you to marry my son?
And made a very poor case for it, I might add.
You remember my son, Dyron? He's not married yet either.
Don't listen to her. It's good to see you again, milady. You're looking as beautiful as ever.
Thank you.
And this is my lady-in-waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great pleasure, my lady. You are as pretty as your mother describes.
And she says that after seeing you whacking stuffed men in the courtyard, sweating like a mule.
Your daughter's prowess with the blade is most impressive.
I was quite the battle maiden myself in my day. But I think it was the softer arts that helped me land a husband.
Are we aware we are at war?
Aware that my husband and son are about to ride off to battle and perhaps never return? Quite.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your ladyship.